Hi guys, Paul here from Meldrum Performance Coaching Podcast, Videocast, website, online coaching, in-person coaching, PT mentoring, and education, and more. So we're up to point number 4 in our 8-part series on PT business tips. Again, if you haven't, go back to 1, 2, 3 and listen to them. They are in order: delivery of your craft, including knowledge and skill, professionalism and standards, and then personal development. Today, number 4 is systems and processes. So this is something that a lot of people talk about, and in the world of business, if you do something 3 times, make it a system. This one's going to be a little bit shorter because I talked about this in a previous podcast about picking the right systems. So making sure you're doing the right thing at the right time for people. So I'm not going to go into it with as much detail. We'll probably stay under the 5-minute mark here without a problem. So with systems and processes, we need to make sure that our systems and processes support the above 3 points first before we worry about the stuff below, which we'll get to in other podcasts. So what systems do you have for the delivery of your craft? So we need to make sure that we have systems for our intake forms, for our screening process, for our program design process, for our client induction process, our system for how we dress, how we book our appointments, and how we fit in our study time and development. So making sure we have systems in place for this makes it very easy to execute. One thing I will talk about with systems and processes, documentation and auditing. So documentation of a system and process is really misunderstood, where some people think they need to go take it very simply and just say, give client program. Doesn't really help, but some people also take it into the other extreme and they go, log on to TeamBuilder, username is blah blah blah, password is blah blah blah, hit calendar, hit this, hit that, insert exercise 1, insert exercise 2. Not really helpful for most people. So what we want to do with our systems is we want to make sure that they have the most necessary information in there, yet also the smallest amount of information there, so people don't get overwhelmed with busy work to do, including yourself, and there's a little bit of autonomy in it, and there's an opportunity to be flexible with it. In terms of auditing the system, what we need to do is, with each system we have in our business, is every 2 weeks if it's a new system, or 3 months if it's something that you've actually established, is look at it, reflect on it, and see, is it still effective, or is there a way that this system could be improved to become more efficient? And when you do that, what that is, it's not you're always trying to just reinvent the wheel. You're looking for ways in which you can save time from experience. So if you've been doing something a certain way for 3 months, you've probably tried something different in that time, or you've noticed that one thing keeps on particularly coming up. What you can do in that particular part of the process is change the system. So once we develop a system, a lot of people become quite rigid with their application of the system. That's how we do it. It's how we've always done it. It's how we're going to do it. A system and a process needs to be a dynamic, adaptive mechanism, so we can change that based on the inputs that we see from our environment, with the environment being the business environment that we're in. So the other thing with systems and processes is make sure you go back to the podcast. I released it maybe a week or 2 ago. Are you building the right systems? So in this podcast, I talk about, there's so many things that we can systemize. What are the things that we need to do? So I touched on it very briefly today, but you can go back, have a look, and see all the systems that you need to look at. Cool, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening. Hope you're enjoying this series of 4 things. It should be giving you a lot of things to think about. It should be provoking a lot of thought, and hopefully help you build a better business. Again, if you need help, I'm always here. Just reach out on any kind of platform, and be speaking to you soon.